Hello and good morning. Welcome to Stampin' Chat. It is Tuesday the 10th of May. Time is running away with us. This morning I'm going to be stamping with the Sending Smiles bundle. So it's a die and stamp bundle, no punches today. And I'm going to be using one of the ink colours, the new ink colours, Sweet Sorbet. And this one is really growing on me. Originally I was felt a bit humiliated by the brightness of all the ink colours, but gradually as I am inking them up, I'm learning to love them a little more. Already I loved the blues, but really struggling with Parakeet Party, but you saw me use that last week. And then this week I'm teaming Sweet Sorbet, which is the kind of red colour. But it's a very soft red. I love it. Good morning if you are hopping on. I'm going to check that I'm live in the right place. So just bear with me. There's a few of you on already. Okie dokie. It is a very grim day here in Gloucestershire. It's very grey, very cloudy, kind of overcast. It's not really cold. It's quite mild, but it's just a bit grim out there. Hopefully we may have a little sun later, although it said on the weather this morning that probably a bit of rain. So, good morning. Let me see. Comments are scrolling on my phone. Let's have a look at my Mac. Good morning, Lucianne. How are you doing? Are you off to work? You off to work today? Good morning, Kay. You're doing good. I'm glad to hear that. Who else is on here? Good morning, Kim. You're just hopping in. Good evening. So yeah, so I'm trying to focus on the new ink colours, a bit of new product. I don't know if I said this last week, I don't know if I will ever use all of those new ink colours together in one project, but I'm loving teaming them up with other current colours. So yeah, really exciting. You've got a day off today, Lucianne. That's great. What are you going to be up to today? You're back in on Thursday and Friday. Okie dokie. Right, so I've got a couple of things just to share with you before I start stamping. As I've said, if you caught my post earlier, I'm using the Sending Smiles. Hello, Kim. How are you? I believe it's your birthday today, so many happy returns of the day. Thanks to Facebook for sending out reminders. Don't we all love that? I'm pretty good with birthdays. I do have, I use my planner and I write down those that I need to send cards to. They're always on my list to do. And of course, never short of a birthday card here in the studio. There are literally hundreds stacked away in boxes that need homes for. So yeah, hope you've got something exciting planned today. I mean, if it were my birthday, I'd be quite happy to just sit and stamp all day. I don't know about you, but I hope you get to go out and do something a little different, because I think, you know, we need to, don't we? We need to just get out a bit. Okay, let me put you down to my desk. I've got my catalogue sat in my hands. Move everything out of the way. Make a bit of room. Have to think about all these things I have to do. Put the light on. Is my MacBook charged? Is my do not disturb on? Is the sound off? All of those things. Yeah, Kim, you'd be happy to sit and craft all day. Yeah, me too. But in company would be good if it was your birthday. So bit of company would be good. Right, excuse the palm of the hand. Let's get you set down to my desk. Move everything around a bit. Have a little zoom. Get the light on. Thank you, MacBook. Always well, no, it didn't throw me out last week. It's just thrown me out, which makes it awkward for comments for me to read. And I do see some popping up on my phone, but it's hard to keep a track on there. So a few of you on today, so thank you for joining. Right. Let us get, oh, I just love this cover. Love it. Such a beautiful set. Right, I don't know where, Alfie, I'm just checking where Alfie is. Archie's over in the house. So I just have to think about, he may be coming, Sophie might be letting him out for a wee, and there could be lots of pores happening over here in the studio. So let's just zoom in a little bit more. You'll see I've got the flyer here for the starter kit offer that is happening for this month. So it's a fabulous offer. If you have a wish list of items that are £99 or more, then you should really consider joining my team. And when you join between the 3rd and 31st of May, you get a load of in-colour products for free. So it's a fabulous time to join. I'm just going to grab my other flyer from the end of my desk. So I talked about my in-colour share last week. I've started chopping. I do have a couple of spaces left if anyone is interested. If you want to just sample the in-colours, this is what you're going to get. So you're going to get a sheet of 6 by 12 because I ordered early when we couldn't get the A4 colours. So I ordered plenty of 12 by 12. So one of each colour of that. Then we get the, oh, what are these actually called? Cup of tea. Let me check. They're the cards and envelopes that go with the cup of tea bundle. Got a brand new pack here. Tea Boutique cards and envelopes. So you'll get one of each of the card bases and one of the beautiful envelopes to go with them. You'll get a 1/5 of a pack of the in-colour dots, so you'll get a strip. There are the sweet sorbet ones hiding behind there, and I will just mention that hopefully you can see they are graded in colour. So you may get the pale ones, it depends which strip you get, or you may get darker ones. I hadn't really anticipated that was the case until I received them. And then you will get 10 sheets of the lovely in colour designer paper. So double-sided, get 2 of each sheet, so 1 of each pattern. And then you get a metre of this very pretty dazzly ribbon. So you get all of that for £13.50, or if you want it posted, it's £15.50. So I have a couple of spaces left if you are interested. Just move my grid paper then. Let's get it taped down. See if we can find the end of the washi tape, which can always be a bit of a challenge. So how are we all doing? What have you all been up to? We've had a weekend. We had lovely weather on Saturday. Sunday was a bit grayer, but we had a lovely weekend. Had Vivi's birthday party, so quite a busy weekend. Family get together. It's not her actual birthday until tomorrow, so she's going to be 4 tomorrow. I don't know how that's happened. So Vivi is my first granddaughter. She's going to be 4. Where's that time gone? Okay, 2 die sets today, and I love both of these. So firstly, we have the Sending Smiles. Let's find it in the catalogue. If you've got your catalogue sat in front of you, it's on page 14. If you do not have a demonstrator already and you would like a catalogue in the post, please do get in touch with me. So on page 14, you can see the stamp set here, and we have got the dies. Lucianne, you've done your swaps. Mine are ready and I'll be posting them out today. So I have actually used this stamp set, which is quite fun. So Sending Smiles, it's £21. As a bundle, £46.75. But you've got some really great dies in here. So a lot of these will coordinate with the stamps. You've got this gorgeous sending word that layers onto this kind of background one, but also just to mention the images on the front of the stamp set here are shown smaller, so they're only shown at 80%, but this die here, it does actually cut out this stamped word. As you can see, it's a lot bigger inside, so it does actually, if you want to stamp that word, it cuts it out. So love Love this set already. And the cards I'm sharing with you today are the first time that I've inked it up. So got some really great greetings here. So sending sunshine to brighten your day, sending birthday wishes. But of course, you've got all these words that you can mix and match to make kind of sentiments of your own. So Kay, you love this bundle. You've not played with it yet. So thanks for choosing this to demonstrate. Yeah, I didn't get it initially on pre-order. I think everybody else got it apart from me. But I was focusing on those teacups because I just loved them. And I'm excited now that I'm going to be doing a class with this for probably next month. Don't think I'm going to squeeze anything else in this month. But love it. The other new die set I have also, I love these little dies here. Little flowers on one die. How clever is that? Let's put those back so we're using those. And then we've got the stylish shapes. Now, I just love how these cut. So you have like, in fact, it's like dots. Let's put that down and it'll be easy to say. You've got dots on the inside. Let's take that one out. And then like a stitched line on the outside. So you can use the negative as well as the piece that you were cutting out. You've got squares, you've got, what do you call that? Well, banners, I guess, and circles. Absolutely love these. £28, that is such a good price. So we are using those. They're going to work great alongside the beautiful shapes, which it wouldn't be a Facebook Live if I didn't show you them because they come out every time. So it'll work really great with this set as well. So just remember that. I've inked up everything that I need. Oh, colours of the day. We have got Sweet Sorbet, Old Olive and Flirty Flamingo. And love this colour combo. You've probably seen me use it a little bit, done a couple of bits with it. Also loving the limited edition stamp set. So great for adding the copyright logo onto the back of your cards, especially if you're selling these at craft fairs or selling them to colleagues. It's very important that you pop one of these with this logo on the back of your card. But I think having something on the back of a card like this just finishes it off. So we're going to be using those. Now, the other colour I am using is, and it went right out of my head as I was about to say it, soft seafoam. I was going to say soft succulent because that's one of my faves. I'm going to be using that, but not using the ink today. So we've got our inks ready. Let's pull in my first kit. Now, pretty simple stamping, nothing too adventurous going on here. Look at these colours. I just love them together. Never shows the colours very well on screen. It's always different. Right, just catching up. Lucianne, you're suffering with carpal tunnel. Oh gosh, that's not good. I do get pins and needles at night, but I think that's just the way that I sleep. But hope you can get that sorted. Kay, you like the colours. Kim, you think they go beautifully together. They do. And I think it was Belle in my team really who prompted me to pull out the Flirty Flamingo to go with the Sweet Sorbet. It's not red in my eyes. It's kind of, it is very sorbet-ish. It's kind of like watermelony. It's a lovely colour, really lovely colour. I'm really enjoying using it. But I just need to figure out lots more colour combinations with it. So, right, let's get rolling. Otherwise we're going to be here all day and need to get somebody down the LANE for a WALK. Because we need to get Archie out as well. He did have a bit of a casualty on Friday, did our Archie. So Archie is my daughter's puppy. He's a spaniel as well, but he's coming up 6 months, 5.5 months. He is gorgeous, but typical puppy. He's into everything. Good morning, Ellie. How are you doing? Kim, a salmony red. Yeah, very, very good description. Very good description, but I love it. How are you doing, Ellie? You've jumped on late. You've just booked your summer holiday. Yippee! How lucky. Where are you going? Somewhere nice, I hope. Probably somewhere where you can have lots of adventures. Okay, so today, shock horror, basic white base. Good morning, Belle. How are you doing? I've just been watching you. I haven't finished watching yet. So you love the colour combo. Thanks to you for inspiring me to pull my Flirty Flamingo out to team it with Sweet Sorbet. Absolutely love them. Right, so we've got a card base of our usual size, 5 3/4 by 8 1/4, and I've just folded it in half. I know, Kim, a holiday if only. So, although I shouldn't say that because Jason has been pestering me for ages to get away, but I'm just not too fussed. In March, it was his birthday. He wanted to do some exotic holiday like the Maldives, but I'm such a home bird. I don't really, not really kind of like hankering to get away anywhere, to be honest. But that's just me. I'm fine once I'm away. It's just the thought of going away and leaving animals, leaving gardens that need attending to. So, right, first of all, I have got a piece of soft sea foam. Love this. It's from the Subtles, and it measures 3 3/4 by 2 1/2 inches. And I'm literally, let's get the Tombow rolling, going to pop it straight down onto the bottom half of my card, just leaving an even gap all the way around, she says, as it's not even. Just pop that straight down on the bottom. I've got a bit of Tombow on me already. Let's get that wet white ready. So what have we all been up to? Belle, I know you've been away, spending time with some lovely friends, which is, like you say, it fills your bucket, doesn't it? Fills your bucket. My bucket gets filled when I spend time with the grandchildren and the family. It really does pick me up. I find it tiring because they're all so little and demanding, but really does pick me up. Right, shall I do die cutting? Let's do some stamping first because we all love a bit of stamping. Right, let's pull in a mat. Let's open up some inks. Now on this card, I'm using, let's open them all up ready. First of all, I want to start with the largest stem. Now we've got 3 stems in this stamp set. We've got 3 different stars, but I'm using this one here. And is this going to be wide enough? Yes. Got a scrap of basic white. I'm just going to pull in my old olive. Nice rock of the table then. And just ink up. I'm always amazed by how well our images stamp. If you've bought inks from me or from Stampin' Up and you're stamping onto your own white card or paper, you may not get as good an image as this, because to me this is a special white cardstock. It's very smooth, very sleek, and it combines with our stamps so well. So if you ever feel that you're not getting kind of the same quality, because it's just crisp, it could well be that you're not stamping onto maybe a high quality enough cardstock to begin with, and it does make a difference. When you stamp onto this grid paper, it's just a paper, the ink it absorbs into it. So I highly recommend that if you're not using our basic white paper, that you grab yourself a pack. You get a whole 40 sheets in this pack. It will last you a very long time if you are careful with it. So next I need 2 flowers, and I've pulled out from the set these 2. And I'm going to do, let's switch our inks around, the mane of my flower in Flirty Flamingo. So let's just ink up that one. Oop, I missed a bit. What happened then? Let's do another. It's better. Can you see? I just missed that bit there. Could probably go back over the top of that because it's photopolymer. Could probably just re-ink. Let's have a go. Won't put too much ink on, and this will be challenging because I can't get my head right over the camera. I don't know why I offered to do this when I can't really see what I'm doing. It didn't work. I used to press a bit harder. I can hear a high-pitched noise, and I think Alfie can hear it as well. He's gone off to see what it is. You know what dog's hearing is like. And then I'm just inking up the smaller one. I'm going to put that down next to it. Beautiful. Right, I'm going to give those a quick clean in my chamois. This is my chamois. I have cleaned this, rinsed it out this morning because, I mean, it's clean now, even though it doesn't look it. I just rinse it out with water just to get all of the excess ink that builds up. Sorry, really wobbling the table now. No idea what that noise is. And then in the centres, we've got different centres for flowers here. So this one quite obviously works with this flower head. And then we've got two flower centres, which are also great for kind of backgrounds and filling in space. So I've pulled out these two and mounted them on these small blocks. And I don't know, I do struggle to get this one to line up, but it has got a little kind of indent in the top. But I'm going to do the centres in the sweet sorbet just so they pop out a little from the colour of the actual flower. Just checking comments. Kim, you used to be like not wanting to go away. Yeah, it's strange. I'm very much a home bird. That's not completely in the centre, but I am not worried about that in the slightest. So hopefully you can just see the difference in the colours there. I think for me it's just about, I'm fine once I'm away. It's just about kind of leaving everything behind. Right, let's trim around these. I could probably have another go when I can get my head over the image better and not waste that one. I think that's it for my flower. I just need to do myself a greeting. Let's find another scrap. Stuck together. And on this card I want to use, there are lots and lots of different combinations as I've said, but on this one I'm just going to use Love and Big Hugs, which I think's fab. That goes kind of for anything, doesn't it? And I'm just going to stamp that one down like that and snip it off. And now we'll get to a bit of die cutting. Let's pull in our plates, locate the die. So what have you guys all been up to? I know, Belle, you've been eating huge afternoon teas, which is lovely. So in this set, as I said, you've got all these lovely dies that cut out the flowers and the stems, the foliage. You've got this lovely greeting, sending word. You've got these little duo of flowers, but you've also got these fabulous two label dies, which are designed to work with all the greetings. But I love die sets that have, and Stampin' Up seem to be doing that more, including a little label die of some description in with their kind of general images. Right, I'm just locating what we need. Gonna need a bit of washi tape to hold these down, and then we can run them all through together. Where's my roll gone? There it is. So yeah, what have you all been up to? Oh, you've been back and forth to the hospital again. Oh, bless you. It's always challenging, isn't it? And parking at hospitals is a bit of a nightmare. And not a cheap venture either, is it? Hospital car parks. Right, let's just line that one in. Oops. I'm having one of those days where even though I've eaten, I still feel that I've got a shake on. Honestly, I don't know what it is. Feel so old at the minute. It must have something to do with that, you know, that M thing that happens. Darn it. Anyway, I'm alive, and that's all that matters. I am here. Right, now I can't really see if that is very straight. Yeah, I don't know what the shakes are all about. It's a bit scratchy, that word. I'm not 100%. I think there might have been a hair or a bit of a fluff on my... Let's have a look. I can't see anything. Right, let's hope that's straight. Top plate on, which I need to train back the other way, and we'll just run those through quickly. Yeah, we got a bit of gardening done at the weekend. Food shop, not very exciting. Beautiful flowers. What else did we do? I got some more planting done. Got my runner beans outside, which is exciting. They are starting to venture their way up the bamboo, but I'd forgotten I had to Google which way they go, clockwise or anti-clockwise. I couldn't remember, because they like to go up, if you're not a gardener, they like to go up the pole anti-clockwise, up the bamboo. So the runner beans went in. What else went in? Can't remember. That's the state of my mind at the moment. Just cannot remember. I'm pretty sure a lot of it's like sleep deprivation and early waking, and I think it was Sunday morning. So stylish shapes, you are going to be seeing this a lot. You're going to be annoyed with me for the amount I'm going to use this, but you are going to see it to its true potential, and you're going to want this die set because you're going to see that it just works for so many things. So you've got carrots and strawberries in the other day. Well done, Kim. That's great. Yeah, I've got a couple of rows of carrots in. I've got some lettuce. I've got a butternut in just one plant because, you know, they do kind of get a bit out of control. A bit like the courgette. I've only got one of those in because they just go crazy. What else have I got? Oh, I've put those away and I need them. I've got my peas in. I've got 2 different types of potatoes. The runner beans are in. I think that's it. Oh, I bought some parsnips. So I bought some seeds for parsnips because I fancied putting those in. They don't come until later in the year. Went into my greenhouse when I was planting, and the packet had been opened and it looked like it had been chewed. And I was like, what has happened? A mouse has come into the greenhouse, which I guess it could come in. And when I looked closer, I was like cursing the mouse. When I looked closer, I lifted up the packet and there was this huge fat snail underneath the packet chomping away at my brand new parsnip seeds. Yeah, you know what I did with it? I picked it up and over the fence it went. No room for snails in my greenhouse. Definitely not. So, oh, lack of concentration. Little error. Let me get another piece of Flirty Flamingo and just cut another one of those. But you know what? I will not waste that. It will get used. And the piece that's left behind could make a very interesting layer on a card for something. Who knows? We will not throw it, but we will cut another. I'm just going to trim that piece off. Wasn't concentrating. I turned around so quickly it slid across the plate. Yeah, that was all the talk about the snail. I was not impressed. Not impressed. So I've got, haven't got any strawberries. My mum and dad quite often give me strawberry plants. But, oh look. How beautiful is that? So you've got that lovely like dotty inner, and then a lovely stitched edge left behind. How fab would that be on a card front? In fact, I think I've used this on another card that I've done. So if I would have been a bit more careful and centered that on that piece, that would make a great layer for a card. So that will not be thrown away. The negative is often as important as the piece you are needing. So yeah, snails can be a bit of a pain, a lot of a pain sometimes. Right, the other thing we need, got a piece of sweet sorbet and did have a piece of basic white, but I think I've just used it. Don't know if that will be big enough. No, let me just cut another piece. Yeah, snails can be a real pain in the garden. They like to munch, and even though they are little, they can munch their way through plants like nobody's business. Right, so we're going to use, this is like the very fine word, and then this, as you can see, is like the solid background. Oh, the door is closing. That makes me nervous, unless that's the wind. Could have a very excited puppy coming up the stairs in a minute. We get all sorts of things. On, what day was it? Friday? Friday? I can't remember. What, Sela, I just cannot remember what day is what and what happened on what day. But I had a not a magpie, a swallow in the studio. Right, before I go any further, one important thing. When you are cutting out this, just looking at comments, I'll come back to those. One very important thing. You've got the words here, S-E-N-D-I-N-G. Now, the little dot on the I, sometimes it sticks in there and sometimes it falls out. And can you see on this occasion, it's fallen out and it's here. So we need to keep that little piece to stick on after. If you lose it, it's totally fine, because I've lost a few. I just take a scrap bit of the cardstock, run it through on the top of the letter I just to get that little dot. That could equally be used on a card. So we're going back to negatives, and you just put in whatever pieces are left behind. Oop, that just fell out for me. Trying to show you that you can make your word back up by pulling out these negatives and kind of putting them back in. You can make up another word that way. So keep your negatives, don't throw them away. To be very gentle pulling out words like this, because you don't want to stretch them. Stampin' Up have made these little dots in our dies so that we can push them out, and this one comes out beautifully. How lovely is that? Right, let's move that out of the way. Get rid of the pieces we don't want. Yeah, so we were talking about snails. I think last year they demolished a lot of things, and the year before I grew broad beans, and then this little black fly came along and then just like munched its way through all of the broad beans. Then it decided it was going to fly over to my runner beans, and it just looks horrible. So, right, what we're going to do is very carefully flatten that out and pop on. We need to get our Tombow kind of giving out. Can you see? If you gently squeeze, oh no you can't. If you gently squeeze, you will get a teeny weeny bit out, and I just want a few teeny weeny dots on the back of here. Not too much, otherwise it comes out and it leaves a mess. Don't know how the shaky hands would deal with this, but we're then just going to pop it straight down onto the white layer. You can kind of maneuver it about a bit so that it fits. This is where I tend to get a bit of Tombow on me. And it fits beautifully. You can kind of move it about. And then we'll just put a teeny weeny dot for the dot on the eye. There's a fly in here now. Oops. Yeah, I was talking about the swallow that came into the studio. Yeah. The birds, I don't know why they come. I think because we're upstairs and the door's open, and the birds kind of like to go underneath, like where the roof comes down by the door at the bottom, and they just kind of come in, and then they're up here before they know it, before they've had a chance to realise they've come in. And he came in and he knocked himself out, basically. Poor little thing. He flew from one end of the studio, hit the window, and then flew to the other end because I didn't have any windows open. At this point, I was frantically trying to open the Velux because they're huge Velux in here, and ran to the other end, opened the windows at either end. But by that point, he'd kind of worn himself out. This was literally like 5 or 6 seconds. He flew back and forth, and I'm saying him, but it could have been a she. I got it. It then ran to the end window behind me. Ran? No, it didn't. It flew. It definitely flew. Oh my goodness, my brain. You can chuckle with me, I know. I'm not chuckling about the bird, I'm chuckling about my brain. And it landed in my plant pot upside down. And for a minute, I was like, right, what do I do now? This bird is upside down in my plant pot. I could see it breathing. It was obviously... it had just worn itself out, knocked itself out probably on the window. So I just left it for a minute. I was almost going to pick up the flower pot and carry it down the stairs. But then I was thinking, what if it comes to life and then flies into my face? I don't think I really like that. So I was a bit petrified. So I just opened up the window and just waited for it to come back to, the land of living. It was still breathing. And then about 20 seconds later, it kind of got up and flew out the window and gone. But in the meantime, it deposited body fluids over 2 projects down the wall. I was not impressed, but it was alive, and that was the main thing. So yeah, it definitely flew though. It did not run. Poor thing. So we do have... I'm just going to lay this down. Definitely talking too much today. I'm going to lay down this lovely circle. We do have, over in the carport, we do have nests where the swallows nest, usually twice a year, which is lovely. And I'm wondering if it is that time when they're starting to head in there, rebuild their nests from last year. Maybe that's why they're about a bit. Okay, I'm going to take this stem, I'm going to pop it straight down on. We're not adding any dimension to this. I'm going to pop it over the right hand side. That is a big fly. You can probably hear it. Alf is back under the table. Right, now my sending word, I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back, just to make it pop out a little. Put one there as well. And then my flowers, do my usual manipulation with the bone folder. So yeah, it was a bit of a moment. I really wanted to be brave and pick up the flower pot, that its tail was just like poking up between the foliage, and carry it down the stairs. But I knew I'd probably get halfway down the stairs and it would probably then come to life and I would probably freak out, trip down the stairs, drop the plant. The bird would probably come back up, so I probably wouldn't have gained anything, but I was thankful that it survived. And we get over in the barn, we get down in the snug where we've got windows like on 3 walls. We've had to hang up like some willow shapes, you know, like these lovely crafty people, they make these willow like dragonflies and butterflies. We've had to hang some in the window because the birds fly through the trees and don't realise that the windows are there, because there are windows opposite as well on the other side of the room. And we were constantly having birds kind of flying in and stunning themselves. It's a bit crooked. I'm not sure that makes me happy, but yeah, about they get stunned, that's it. I'm wondering if I can show you the poo. Not that you want to see poo. This is the 3rd time it's happened. Look, right on the middle of a project. Was not impressed. The last time one came in, it was a blue tit, and it pooed on no, it was on a card. It pooed on a card. Did a little poop in its excited state. Right, let's pop this down. Let's change the subject. No more talk about poo. So, yeah, so that's my little tale about the swallows. But yeah, I'm excited for them to start nesting, because we have to be really careful then about when we go into the boiler room, because we once had a baby bird fly in when the door was open, because they're nesting kind of in the carport that's next to it, and sadly Jason found a dead bird in there, and it had obviously flown in. We didn't know it had gone in, and we'd shut the door behind us. Poor thing. Right, let's use up some edgy pieces of here. But yeah, they're so cute, because if you're quiet and you go under the carport, it's like where the dog wash is. We've got a dog wash for Alfie under there with a Belfast sink, and we keep our logs under there. But if you go under there and look up, you can see the little birds hovering over the edge of the nest. We've had a few casualties, mind. We've had birds come out that we didn't really know what to do with. I'm going to stick this down for now, but I think later I'm probably going to pull it off and do another, because can you see by the word love, it's got like a bit of a smudge, but it's there for now. Yeah, we've had casualties come out, and of course you're not supposed to handle a bird that's fallen out of the nest. It could be that the mother has discarded it for any reason, which is a bit sad, but it's nature. It's nature. Right, what I want to do finally for this card is this little tiny die here. I thought I'd done all the die cutting, but I hadn't. Little strip. What I'm going to do is use this. I know I said to keep this, but I will get hundreds of those that I can do stuff with. That will be enough just to cut a bit left in there. That will be enough just to cut that out. Do that quickly. But yeah, the parents, they get very protective when the birds are in the nest. They kind of dive bomb us when we go out. They're like, don't come under here, you're not allowed under here. So you have to be really careful. You find yourself walking out the door ducking in case they come, but okay. How cute are these? Oh, didn't pick it up. How sweet are those? These are the kind of dies that you want for those little accidents where you make a little smudge. Yeah, naughty bird Belle. I was thinking all I need to do really is pull off the flowers and re-put the flowers back on, then I'll probably salvage them. So, right, I'm going to start with my Take Your Pick tool just to give these a little curl. Yeah, these are great for when you get that thumbprint of ink and you can kind of hide them. And then I'm just going to like squidge them up like this. So they're very 3D. And these will be good for layering onto other flowers. So where's my little pot of goodness? So let's say, and excuse the colours aren't going to go. You know, we were talking about how to fill this space with rhinestones and pearls and stuff like that. But if, let's say this was in Sweet Sorbet, if you popped a smaller flower on the centre, then you'd only need one embellishment in the middle of that, if that makes sense. Right, the only thing I found with sticking these down with Tombow is that it all squidges out the other side. So I think for today, I'm going to just roll a glue dot because I'm sure it will hide the flower underneath. Because obviously there's that hole in the middle, it's going to squidge through, and when I go to put my embellishment on, it's not going to stick straight away. So just going to add these two flowers. Oh, see, that's sticky there. Curl them back up, so I'm just going to flatten them down. And then curl the edges up. So you can see they've got like lots of life. And then we think of these as being for Christmas. I think they came out in one of the mini like winter books. Could you not add one of those to the smudge bit? Could well do, but it kind of goes across the O and the V. I may just redo that later. So yeah, these are in the annual catalogue, and you get loads on here. How many? 220 little beauties that are perfect for these flowers. So I wasn't sure whether red on red was going to work. But I quite liked it. They're quite sparkly as well. So that's the first card. There's my original. Pretty much the same. Loving, like, this combo is just so fresh. Such a fresh colour combo. Quite simple, nothing too challenging there. Don't know if we could class that as simple stamping. You know how much of a challenge simple stamping is for me. But let's bring in the next packet. So I've got a little kind of technique to show you on this one. I've got some bits and pieces done already, but I just wanted to show you something a little different. So this time around, I've chosen the Flirty Flamingo. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad you're liking that card. I think the colours always help, don't they? And what you have to do is imagine my card in your bright colours as well, because it will look totally different. Totally different. So yeah, I've done my word in Flirty Flamingo. We've got some scrap here. We've got our base, standard basic white base. And where's my bone folder? Yeah, there's always something dramatic happening around here. Always something. So we had the guy come yesterday to finish off. We've just had a new security system put in, so all connected up to my phone. I just now need to know how to, well, I need to learn how to use the app so that when if somebody did try and break in, I'd be able to shout at them down my phone or talk to them or suss out where they were in the house or garden. I just need to like look at that app and learn. Okay, so I've got various pieces here. I've got a piece of soft seafoam, which measures 3.5 by 5.5. And then I've got a strip of Flirty Flamingo that also measures 5.5 in length. And it can be any width. I'm literally going to pop it onto the edge there to make a little, to bring in some of the Flirty Flamingo. What I've done is I've used the stylish shapes to create myself like an aperture of circles. Okay, so I just used different sizes. I laid them down randomly on a scrap of basic white. Make sure it's big enough, and just use different ones. And then I cut them out. Of course, you get left with the pieces that you can use for something else. But what I wanted to do is bring in a scrap. Is on this layer, get a bit of tape. Just do, how have I done this? Didn't think that looked right. What's that on there? Let's use the other side. A little bit of a fleck in the card. Doesn't really matter where this goes, I don't think. That'll be okay. I'm just going to tape that down because it's bound to move. I do need the soft seafoam ink. I was fibbing earlier, thinking to myself I didn't need it. So with the soft seafoam and my blending brush, I'm just going to add some colour to this layer through my apertures that I've created. This is nothing rocket science, this is nothing new, but it's just a little something different to create on a background. I hope you're actually in shock because I cannot see my screen. And you can obviously add as much or as little colour as you wish. We'll just do one more of each of these and then we'll pull it up and have a peek and see if there's an area that we need to focus on. I need to be careful not to go over this edge, otherwise we'll have a harsh line. As I've got washi on here, we can just kind of pick it up. So I need to do a little bit more on this area, but I need to be careful not to go over the edge of that white cardstock, otherwise we're going to get a line. That should probably be enough. Yeah, we're going to go with that. And then of course, do not throw this away. You can use that over and over. Good old blending brushes. They are fabulous. So we've just created really simple bit of background. To that we're going to add, oh, the sun is coming out. I can see blue sky. That's good. Good job we're going down the LANE after I've gone live, otherwise it could get a bit too warm. So you have to be really careful. Those of you that have got pets know that. Can't go out when it's warm. And if the sun is out, we won't go as far as we normally would. So I'm just adding this little border behind. If you added a lot more colour, these would really pop out as well. So, and you can see they look a bit rough, but they look like the moon. They look kind of almost 3D. Oh, when did that happen? I can see a smudge there. Ages ago, probably. Good job, it went on my grid paper and nowhere else. Right, then we're going to add this layer to the front of the card. Ink on fingers is just like, it's inevitable, isn't it? When you're picking up ink pads and stamping, it's going to happen. Before you stick, obviously, layers down like this, remember to check that it is even, because there's nothing worse than it being a little bit short or a little bit long hanging over the edge. So we've just got layering up the front. Right, we need to do a little bit more stamping. Now I cleaned my stamps. This time around, going to switch the colours and have the mane of the flower in Sweet Sorbet. Excuse the hand. Should put my ink pads on the other side really. Beautiful. And then the smaller flower. And I thought I had a stem cut out ready. I should have done that, but it doesn't take long to cut. And I feel like we've only just been an hour, so we're okay with time. And we'll pop that one in there like that. Beautiful. How gorgeous. And I think that's it. I've already cut myself one of those lovely labels. I do need to cut a circle though from this piece. Let's chop these. We might be able to keep those as one actually. Bring in the plates. It's actually looking quite glorious out there now. Bring back in the dies. So that one, and that one. And I've done the others. And then I also want a circle, and I think it's that one. Yeah. So let's just lay these down. Bit of tape to make sure they don't move whilst I go from here. Oh, now my brain has gone. It's because it's on a funny angle. It just didn't register then. I feel like that's happening a lot lately. My brain is just not registering. Not fun. Okay, got the sniffs now as well. Don't look, I'm just going to give that a gentle bend that way because it was curving upwards. And then when I put my plate on, it might encourage that die just to move a bit. Let's just tape that one down there. Get this top plate on. And run that through really quickly. Cuts out lovely. Save all the bits of tape for next time if we can. Get a few uses out of them. Oh, I didn't do the centres. I can do those now though, that's not a problem. So we get the nice like dotty bit on the image and then the stitch on the outside. Pop those away. And then we'll just add a bit of colour to the centre. So this time we're going to do the opposite, so that's a bit distracting to the eye. We'll use the Flirty Flamingo for the centre. Trying to look at the shape of this and get it the right way up. It's really sweet. Oop, stuck to it. That was a bit wibbly wobbly, but it's fine. It's fine. Just got to do a greeting. Just bring that back in. Let's do that stamping and then we can just pull it all together. Cut myself a really skinny strip of basic white, or sometimes we get strips like this left over. And I thought I would use the greeting. It's a card to say hello. So I'm going to use the Sweet Sorbet. And try and line that in. Even though I'm miles away. Oh, that's a bit crooked. Let's have another go. Let's pull it down a bit and then maybe I'll be able to see a bit better. feel like you think that I'm excusing myself when I do something crooked because I say, oh, I can't see, but that one's a bit high, but I'm going to go with it. Right, ink's out of the way. Let's start sticking together. Let's check fingers. For sweet sorbet ink, the darker the colour, the more we seem to get it on us. Okay, right, first of all, I'm going to pop down my white circle. Sorry, let me just look at any comments. Have a drink. And we're just going to pop this one right down over here. Doesn't really matter where it goes. And then I'm going to pop on my Old Olive stem. Now, if you were brave, you could use the Parakeet Party. I've been quite brave with it lately. I'm quite impressed with myself. It was a little bit off that die cut, but it doesn't matter because there's a white background behind it. Couple of dimensionals behind here. Where have they gone? Where I always put them. Why is it when things are right under your nose, you cannot find them? I mean, that's why I like having I've got a lovely tool caddy here right next to where I work. And I tend to put things, like my dimensionals go back in the little slot. When I've used one, they go back in. And I know that might seem a little bit anal to some of you to keep like picking them out and pulling them out, but otherwise, all of this stuff gradually starts coming around our desk area and we have no room to move. So I find if like my scissors stay by me and my Tombow stays by me, but generally things just go back out of the way, like glue dots. If I use a glue dot, it goes back in its spot. It's right next to me, it's easy to locate, but it just means it's not around my working space too much. So I'm going to pop a couple of dimensionals. Oops. Oh, definitely didn't want to come off. On the back of this sentiment. My nail stuck under that one. Pop that one down. So I think these are pretty quick cards today. Remember, you could stamp the word sending. Let's try and get that straight. So you could stamp that word and then use this die to cut out a different coloured background for it so that it pops out. What is next? Oh, I'm gonna have this and then pop this onto it. Do the Tombow. Lay that centrally if we can. It's quite high, but it's okay. More dimensionals. Oh, we love our dimensionals, don't we? Get through them a lot, but they are great. They're the right height. I don't know about you, but I think they're definitely the right depth. They're not too high, but they're high enough. We'll put that one down there. And then I've already cut out some flowers. So we'll just pop these on to finish. Start them off with a bit of a curl. Oops. And then kind of just like squidge them up. The technical terms. Squidge them up a bit. Oh. My tummy's rumbling, I don't know why. I have fed it. up here. One. Oh, down here. Stay. And a final one, because we want it to balance, down there. Hey Alfie dog, where have you been? You've been on an adventure around the garden. He stopped and looked at me as if to say, well, I'm allowed to. And squidge those all up, and then again to finish, these lovely, so they're called red rhinestone basic jewels. I just feel you get a lot in here for your money. Let's find them in the book. We have so many gorgeous embellishments. I've got a lot to use up from retired ones, but so they're here on page 142, number 5, £6.75. So really great value, because they will last you a long time. Surprising that little ones like this go a long way. Get in the middle. Just want to give that a press down and make sure it's stuck. We don't want it going astray. And there we go. So just a different background on here, using those lovely stylish shapes dies. My original is pretty much the same. Pretty much, maybe added a bit more colour to those background circles. Kim, you like the second one? Thank you. The colours just help, I think. They're quite fresh, quite pretty and feminine, aren't they? Loving them. Loving the colours myself. The trouble with me is I get hooked on a colour combo and then I can't put it down. Does anyone else get like that? You discover something that you kind of fall in love with. Look, I'm tidying up now. I'm such a tidy as you go person. Yeah, you kind of find a colour combo that sits with you, and then you just like love it to death and just use it on everything. And then you come across another one and then you do the same with that one. So I hope you've enjoyed my creations this morning. So what I will do, I just want to finish off, because I did this on some cards a couple of days ago with the limited edition. Oops, bit of a glare. And I love this image here. Let's find a block. Let's put it on a D block so we've got plenty of room to see what we're doing. Now I'm going to fold my cards out and kind of back on the spine so that they lie flat. Let's just get a scrap to remind myself how crooked my sticker has been stuck on by myself. So I'm just going to ink this up in Memento, and I think I'm going to, so what I'm doing is lining up the word Stampin' Up on a line on my grid paper, and it's straight, so it looks like it's going to stamp straight, but it is actually, if you can see that, it's kind of up in the air to the right. So I'm going to do it when I stamp it down. I need to turn my stamp, MacBook's timing out, slightly to the left. So can you actually see? So I'm lining it up with my grid, and that word Stampin' Up, I'm not going to line it up with the bottom of my paper. I'm actually going to twist it so it's slightly, stay still card, so it's slightly to the left. Hopefully you can see that. And then in the hope when I stamp it, it's straight, and it worked. How lovely is that? How nice is that to have on the back of a card that you're sending out? You like baby pink and creams, Kim? Yeah, we've all got our thing, haven't we? It's, you know how hard it was for me to put down soft succulent, and I'm drawn to it a lot. But I just have to be a bit mindful that We do have plenty of other colours to use. So, love that. So this is the limited edition stamp set. It's just £18. Really good one to have, okay, in your collection. So that just finishes off your cards. And there we go. So I think it's coffee time, and then it'll be time for a trot down the Lane. Oh, my battery is very low as well. It's about to go. So on that note, I will bid you a farewell. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope if you've not got this stamp set, you may consider getting it, feel a bit inspired. There is lots of inspiration using this. As I've said, a lot of demonstrators have shared stuff with it already. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for your lovely comments. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back very soon. So in the meantime, take care and bye.